What's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 31 of the Restored Geeks Podcast. My name is Tristan.
I'm Jim.
And our other friend who is usually here is working today. He's an employed loser.
Yes, he is.
Even though so are we. But anyway, but only he's the
he's the only one who's willing to work on
the Lord's Day. Yes. Welcome to Restored Geeks, where we go through the news and geekdom, and we do analysis periodically from our Christian perspective. So, yeah, but we'll start with gaming right now. The games that we've been playing this week. So, I'll start with me. I've been playing Halo Combat Evolved because Campaign Evolved has came out.
I told Joseph the other night, because we were playing Destiny, I said, buddy, I got to get off by about 12 because Tristan's going to get on Combat Evolved.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah, I love it. It's great going back through that because Campaign Evolved comes out next month.
Yeah.
July 28th, I think.
Yep.
And it's great. One, I think, is the tightest out of the original trilogy, like in terms of gameplay. The story isn't anything like crazy, but it services the game and the overall execution of what the game was trying to do just fine.
Mm-hmm.
And the gameplay design is masterful and a masterclass.
One story you have to look as a trilogy. I think 2's story can stand on its own.
2's has the best story. It has some design flaws with, especially if you play on higher difficulties, it really becomes bad.
Yeah.
With the sniper Jekylls, they are extremely annoying but the story is a masterpiece.
Yeah, we've always been about good difficulty. Just cranking numbers is not difficulty.
Yeah, 3 is the best all-around game package.
Yes.
Was it having it being a great conclusion to the trilogy. What?
I would consider ODST to be the overall great package because the story is amazing, the gameplay is amazing.
Yeah.
And it had Firefight, which was amazing.
And it had Halo 3's multiplayer.
multiplayer.
I remember when that game first came out, people were complaining that it was basically a $60 DLC, but it had all of that in it.
Yeah, it was a huge game.
It was worth it from my perspective.
Yeah. Now, when I say that I think ODST is better, it is Halo ODST 99%, Halo 3 98%.
Yeah.
It is neck and neck.
Yeah, and then Reach is like one of the best examples of a well-executed prequel.
Yep.
Out there. But yeah, the original Halo trilogy I consider to be the Lord of the Rings of gaming.
Yeah.
Because the Lord of the Rings is the greatest movie trilogy. The Halo trilogy is the greatest game trilogy. I will take no other opinion. Miss me with any other opinion you have out there, all right? Because my opinion is absolute. Anyway. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Love it. I'm playing it on Heroic. Because I remember the developers said that they specifically made it to be played on either Heroic or Legendary. And you can definitely see that, because when you play it on Heroic, you have to be strategic, where you don't have to be as strategic on Easy and Normal. Legendary, I don't hate myself enough to play.
You get on Legendary, and it takes 4 friggin' charged shots to kill a single elite.
It was mostly meant to be played on Heroic. But
they should have just said we balanced it around Heroic. They should have said anything about Legendary, because if that's your balancing, I see why Halo 2 went so wrong.
Yeah. But the Legendary, they throw so many grenades at you, it's annoying. But yeah, it's great. I love it.
And that's right with the cowbell skull on as well.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I love it, and I plan on doing kind of like a retrospective thing where I'm playing through these games. I don't really consider, after Halo Infinite, I don't really consider 4, 5, and 6 canon at all. So
no, Halo Infinite walked back out of nowhere.
If I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, did they not, Halo 5 ended on the cliffhanger?
Halo 5 ended on a massive cliffhanger
of Cortana potentially being the villain of the next one, and then she dies off screen.
Yeah, she was supposed to be the villain of the next one, and she had gained control of what are supposed to be these all-powerful, not all-powerful, but insanely powerful mecha beings that can destroy planets.
Yes,
she had
Guardians.
Control over hundreds of them. They were in the sky. The next game starts, apparently Cortana went, whatever that was called. when the
Rogue.
when the AI. I don't think it was called Rogue, but it was when
She dies.
it's when the AI is basically
deteriorate.
I'm trying not to say the word abstract.
They abstract.
Because it is literally what happened.
Yes.
Rampant. She went rampant.
Yeah.
She basically got corrupted and all of that and then died off screen.
Yes. And that, I say, is probably one of the worst off-screen like betrayals of the audience.
Yeah.
That I think I've ever seen in a story. And that just made me like, Infinite has good things to it, but its story is so terrible. Like, its story is not what we wanted at all, and it's not the direction we didn't. Barely any of us cares about this new AI that they had in Infinite. So yeah, due to that execution, I don't consider 4, 5, and 6 canon. It's kind of like I view it like the Star Wars sequel trilogy. It's not canon. Halo ends on 3. That's it. Yeah, that's the conclusive ending for me, at least. But yeah, playing through that. Other than that, that's it. Well, played Mecha Chameleon last night.
Mecha Chameleon.
That's fun.
It is a lot of fun. They really, really need to make it to where you can turn off the no clipping thing.
Yes, because what is the point of being able to hide on a wall and then camouflage yourself if you stick out like a sore thumb?
Exactly. I did a decent job at my rainbow, but they could see me immediately because you stick out.
Yeah. But yeah, you played that too, Chandler. And other than that, what else have you been playing? Destiny 2, I know you've been playing.
I played a little bit of Borderlands, and then I played some Destiny. But for the most part, I've been making progress on my story.
No, nice.
And working on a website for a production company so that I can start getting stuff up on it.
Nice. Awesome. Do the cowboy shoot the other cowboy?
I don't think there's a cowboy in my story.
I'm just making a joke. So that's always like a joke, and somebody watching something's like, cool, when does a cowboy shoot the other cowboy? But from there, I guess we'll get to the gaming news that has happened this week. So,
I did start replaying Infamous Second Son.
Oh, you did? Nice. I haven't played that.
I want another one.
Yes. I haven't played that. Well, I haven't played Second Son since I first got the PS4.
It's over 10 years old now.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Well, it was made by Sucker Punch. They made Ghost of Tsushima.
Maybe I don't want another Infamous. Maybe.
As long as I don't get the person who made Yote on it.
Yeah.
But I guess from there we'll get into the gaming news for this week. So I only have like one. It's a huge one that happened this week. So Rockstar came out with a short trailer for GTA 6. It didn't really show anything on it, but it did give a release date for the pre-orders that people can do, which is going to be on June 25th. Now, as of right now that we are making this podcast, the prices on them have not been shown. Like, so the estimation is anywhere from $70 to $100. And apparently there's going to be different editions of it. So I guess we'll see how much, we'll see if they do this the base game is going to be $100, and it's going to usher in this new era of games being $100 at base level.
We'll see far less games then.
Mm-hmm. But we'll see if that happens. Hopefully they don't. But yeah, pre-orders are up June 25th. A lot of people are speculating that means that they're definitely going to come out with it this year. That does not mean that. There's been plenty of games you can pre-order and then they get pushed.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that. That's the reason why I'm not pre-ordering it, because I'm going to get it when it comes out. I haven't pre-ordered stuff probably for the past, I want to say 5 years, 6 years now. I don't recommend pre-ordering because you're ultimately paying for an idea instead of the actual concrete thing.
Yeah.
So
you're paying for a promise, although although there's been, not most companies, but there's been instances where that promise falls through and then they don't fulfill.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
That's why I hate early access.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's about it for like the big gaming news that we had this week. Didn't really kind of been a bit of a quiet one this week for gaming, because the week before that we had the Games Fest, Nintendo Direct, and last week it was all gaming. We didn't talk about movies or TV shows. because we were limited on time and we wanted to really talk about everything that happened in those showcases. But for this one, we'll be more in the movies and TV shows. So we'll get on to movies. What movies we've been watching? I've watched no movie since last time. What have you seen?
I mean, you technically watched the Digital Circus movie.
Well, I didn't watch it as a movie, though. I watched it as the individual episodes. But yeah, technically. Yeah.
I mean, you could say that, but it was still a movie at one point. Doesn't make it not a movie just because you watched it as an episode.
So if I watch the Mugen Train arc, does that...
Yes, you still technically watched the Mugen Train movie.
Yes.
If I take a hatchet and I cut it into 3 pieces...
Yes.
Is it still a hatchet?
No.
Okay, buddy. Anyway... Yeah,
yes.
That's about it, though.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I hadn't really been watching much movies these past couple of weeks. So we'll get into the movie news.
Another live-action Grinch was announced.
Yeah.
It's apparently a sequel to the previous one that had Jim Carrey in it.
Mm-hmm.
I originally thought it was releasing in September. It's not. Apparently, that was some Grinch game releasing in September.
Mm-hmm.
And I also originally thought that Jim Carrey was playing the Grinch. He's trying to.
Yeah.
They haven't given him the role yet.
Oh, wow. He better, because it's not going to be that kind of Grinch without him, because he made that movie.
If you don't give Jim Carrey that one, this movie will flop hard.
Yeah, he made that movie. So, no, that movie's legendary. I love it.
And if you give it to Jack Black, I'm gonna riot. In Minecraft.
Jack Black tries to be Jim Carrey.
He does. He tries to be Jim Carrey, but he's not as charismatic as Jim Carrey.
No, Jack Black was in his bag when he was doing stuff like, if you ever seen Tenacious D.
Yeah.
That's Jack Black's, zone. But he tries to do that any other role that he's in, like his whole, rock and metal, chicken jockey. Chicken lava kind of version of that song on his movie. But it just, why are you in, it makes the audience go, why are you in this movie, man? Just make another Tenacious D or something.
Exactly.
Anyway. Then another one, Toy Story 5 is out. It released this past weekend, which I bring this up because it's a huge movie release. I'm not watching it because, one, I've heard that it's not good, and then two, I hate what they did with 4 so much that I do not care for 5. Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 I think is a near perfect trilogy. I think that it's one of the best movie trilogies ever, right underneath the Lord of the Rings. 1 and 2 are especially great. 2's a masterpiece in my opinion. 3 has problems, but its ending, it concludes the overall story of the trilogy so well that I think it forgives any problems.
Yeah.
And it does not need any other story after that. 4 assassinates both Woody and Buzz, makes Bo Peep a girl boss for some stupid reason, and apparently 5 makes Jessie a girl boss. And what they had tried to achieve with the lily pad and the message of, social media being bad for kids, they end up contradicting because the lily pad ends up actually being the unintentional hero of the story. Jessie is apparently unintentionally racist towards the lily pad.
But 2 is boring because it takes place in a dude's house.
Even though it doesn't. Even though there's an entire scene where they go to a supermarket and you have that guy, that fat slob guy, who owns the supermarket.
There's a hilarious scene somebody posted, and it just said, streamers going to work. Yeah. And it's him in his chicken suit getting out. He's like, he's like, gosh darn it, having to go out to my drive all the way to work on a Saturday. Yep. And he drives, and he turns, it's right there. He walks out of the hotel, and it's right across the street.
Yes. His studio is right across the street.
He's having to drive all the way to work on a Saturday.
Yeah. Yes. And play video games on a Saturday for a living. Nice. Yeah.
No, 2, I think, is the overall best one because it's message of finding purpose.
Yes, it's
is
fantastic.
Insanely good.
Yes.
3 is really good too because it's the message of separation.
Yeah.
Because and growing up, because Andy has grown up, and now Woody, Buzz, and them are dealing with the separation.
Yeah.
Like he overhears Andy saying that he's going to take Woody with him to college, but that ultimately doesn't happen. Woody's fighting with that thought process the entire movie, and then eventually decides that he's okay with being left with the little girl.
And he tells his people, Buzz and all them, he'll never leave them. And then in 4, he leaves them for that Bo Peep Pussy.
Brother.
But yeah, I hate 4. But,
well, you didn't like Spoon?
Forky? Listen, no. The writers to 4 do not understand what they did with Forky. Forky literally starts off aware that he is made from trash and tries to kill himself over and over again as a gag. Like, bro. Like, this is a kid's movie. These writers had no idea what they did. I mean, Toy Story has always had, like, dark scenes in it. Like, I love 2, but they went hard on how depressing Jesse's backstory is.
Yes.
That one scene. And then 3 has that one incinerator scene.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, the incinerator scene and Lasso's backstory, too, is pretty rough.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is those fit with it.
Yeah.
And you could tell that, like, the tone of it was, it was, like, serious. With Forky and 4, he literally, like, constantly throws himself in the trash because he realizes that he's trash. And he's like, I belong in the trash. But it's played as a gag. But it's like a Soma-level concept there that they've set up. For anybody that's played the movie or game Soma.
We gotta stop with these, they're just misunderstood villains. Like, Lasso is also an irredeemable villain after what he does during the incinerator scene.
Yeah, yep. But yeah, 1, 2, and 3 are like the greatest trilogy other than Lord of the Rings and movies, in my opinion.
But speaking of kids' movies, he reminded me of a topic I didn't put in there. The trailer for Shrek 5 dropped.
I heard. How's it look? I haven't seen it.
Looks all right. A little bit too... How do I put this? Too realistic for Shrek?
Yeah.
It looks a little too realistic because...
Looks uncanny.
Yeah, it's in that mixed period between... It's still Shrek, or it's still animated, and it's not realistic enough to be realistic. It's in that uncanny area of in between.
Yeah.
But after Puss in Boots' Last Wish, I have hopes for it.
Yeah, Puss in Boots, yeah.
It does not look...
is right. Puss in Boots' Last Wish was great. Yeah.
It does not look like they've done anything weird. It's just the animation that's weirding me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But Shrek sounds great, Donkey sounds great, and they're up to their same antics, so...
Yeah. Hopefully it will be, because, like you said, Puss in Boots' Last Wish was great, and that was an excellent movie.
Yes.
And so if it's these same writers, yeah, maybe. Hopefully it'll be good. I just can't believe we're on Shrek 5, Toy Story 5. We're getting a new Ice Age.
Please, God.
Can we
Please tell me you're lying.
No, I'm not.
They should have killed that franchise a long time ago.
Yes. Same thing with Toy Story. Toy Story ends on 3. That's it. There's 4 and 5 are bad fan fiction.
Freaking Ice Age ends on 2.
Yes. I would say come up with original stuff, but they have been coming up with original stuff, but they suck.
Can't do it.
Yeah, Elio sucks. They've got this new Hexed coming out.
Yeah.
And this is it's a child who is getting into... It looks like it's going to be... She finds out that she's really good at witchcraft, and it was in her... Everybody saw her as useless, but really she had it in her all along.
Bruh.
Disney screwed. Like,
no, Disney is cooked.
Yeah, well, Shrek isn't even Disney, it's a DreamWorks, but anyway. They have to come out with, like, Toy Story 5 and Ice Age
532.
Yeah, 532. And their original stuff sucks because it's so terribly written and it's so ham-fisted with these stupid, like, hyper-individualism, postmodernism messages.
Yep.
It's... Yeah. But there are some teams in it that's, well, again, I was going to bring up Puss in Boots, but Puss in Boots isn't Disney. They're Pixar. They're not Pixar. They're DreamWorks. But
yeah.
But whoever the team that worked on Puss in Boots was great. Puss in Boots is great.
Yeah, that was a solid and fantastic movie.
Yes.
With a fantastic villain.
Yeah, 2 fantastic villains. Death and Jack were both great.
But what I can't stand is today's, well, the villain is just misunderstood.
Yes, exactly. That can be done well, but you have to have a clear right and wrong as you do that. Like, the villain has to still be a villain.
Yeah.
And all that. Like
the way they do it, though, is they take someone like Syndrome and they try to say, well, he was just a misunderstood. He wasn't.
That's a good example of a misunderstood, like, of a well done one. Like, you can understand his plight. Yeah,
but he's definitely a villain.
He's still evil, and he still has to be taken down.
Yeah.
Yes.
But nowadays we get villains that are like,
Incredibles 2 sucks, by the way, if you ever seen it.
Oh my God.
It's bad. But Incredibles 2 is not canon. 1 is like a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. So.
Yeah, nowadays we get villains that are mass genociders.
Yes.
And then, they didn't get any coochie.
Somebody was mean to him one time.
Yeah, he got told he couldn't drink alcohol.
Yes. And kills everybody.
Yeah.
And then is like, the people, as they go to try and stop him, are like, like you were just misunderstood. It's okay. It's okay. You're.
It's okay. You're now.
The light is still in you.
The light is in you, and then it'll end with them like, you're free to go. Like, we're not going to lock you up because you were misunderstood.
Yeah.
Effer, you're still a villain. Lock him up.
Yeah, exactly.
He must answer for his crimes.
Yeah,
it'd be like if Hank was just like, well, I get your plight, Walt. You just needed money. I won't persecute you.
Yes.
I won't take you in.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
But yeah, that a misunderstood villain, it can be done well. You have to have a clear right and wrong. And when the villain does something wrong, it's clearly wrong. When you get into this like moral blurriness, a lot of people call it moral complexity and ambiguity. Yeah. Ambiguity, but a lot of the times it's not even that. It's what I would call moral blurriness.
Yeah.
Where it's borderline calling good evil and evil good when the villain does something bad. You can barely even call the villain a villain. And sometimes also the hero will unintentionally be the villain in these stories. And the villain will unintentionally be the hero because they've got their morals so backwards. We're cooked.
No, my book has a clear villain.
Yes. Well, it's one of the again, I'll bring this up constantly. It's one of the reasons why anime and Eastern content has been going up in popularity over the past years. In their stories, there's clear morality.
Yep.
There's clear good and evil. And even in the ones that do actual moral complexity, they understand actual moral complexity because the moral complexity does not come from, well, what if the person didn't get no coochie while they were young? And then they kill people, and it's like, are they really that bad? It's like, no, the actual moral complexity is like, you can understand the motive. You can understand their suffering. But what they did is still bad.
Well, the thing is nowadays it's typically they were shunned in high school for being a complete weirdo who thinks they're a dog or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're now a villain, and you should feel bad for them because you should have accepted them.
Yeah. What? Just use Demon Slayer overall.
Yeah.
The demons in that, they have tragic backstories. And Tanjiro feels compassion for them on their tragic backstories, but he still recognizes that they're evil.
They have to go.
They have to go, yeah. That is actually that's what I love about Demon Slayers. That is a great example of actual moral complexity.
Yeah.
Like, moral complexity is not moral blurriness.
We all joke about how Tanjiro looks at him and, well, they didn't get any coochie. But, it's a meme. But he's still always, during the fights, even knowing their backstory and all of that, he knows they've got to go because they physically can't go against Muzan, so they're going to continue to kill.
Yeah.
And then 2, well, that's it. They're going to continue to kill.
Yeah. Yep. So, what the heck were we originally talking about?
Shrek 5.
Shrek 5, that's right. So, yeah, I mean, hopes for Shrek 5. It's Shrek 5. Like, bruh. When are we...
Dude, he better show up just out of nowhere.
He's the villain. He's the villain.
I just wanted you to do the roar.
They do a moral... They do a stupid, moral blurriness kind of thing.
It's like super complex, super into it. It's like Attack on Titan complex, and then at the very end, he's just like, but I just wanted you to do the roar.
Attack on Titan's another one that does, it did moral complexity well, and just
payoff at the end.
The payoff with Eren of him going, I'm stupid. I didn't want Mikasa.
I didn't want Mikasa to be with anyone else.
It's like, what? But yeah.
He should have just stood on business and been like, he doesn't even have to be like, I thought this was the right way. He could still backtrack and just say, I didn't see another way.
Yeah. I still think it's overall worth watching because what Eren ends up doing, you can understand what he's doing, but he's still seen as wrong, and he has to be taken out. So it's just that scene with him and Armin. It's like, what? I want to sit down with the manga author and be like, what was going through your head writing that scene? So, yeah. Shrek 5, that's what we were talking about, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, is that all you had to say on that?
Yep.
Well, yeah, Shrek 5.
So now we got to get into the big one.
Yes. Now we get into the big movie news, which we'll have a lot to say about this. I'll probably make this a clip as well. So the movie Steven Spielberg, who we have to give him credit, not the movie Steven.
The movie Steven Spielberg coming out. Anyway.
So Steven Spielberg, I have to give him credit. He's arguably the greatest director of all time in terms of resume.
Oh, okay.
Because he's got, he made E.T., he made the good Indiana Jones movies, he made, there's so many, Saving Private Ryan, he made a lot. Hold up.
We don't need to list them.
Yeah. He made some, what are considered some of the greatest movies out there. So he has a really huge resume. However, his movies of recently have not been great. He definitely he's in his 80s.
Yeah.
He definitely needs to hang it up and just retire because he's kind of
he needs
not ruining. I don't think he can ever ruin his legacy unless he
unless you
does something horrific. But
unless you pull a Duffer Brothers and just completely destroy your image or something like that. Yeah, he needs to hang it up, and after this most recent movie, he needs to really start rethinking his worldview, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Him and, what's his name, who made Gladiator, really need to hang it up. Because the guy who made Gladiator...
Well, you didn't like King Monkey?
I don't know how he goes from making Gladiator 1 to 2.
Gladiator 1 was great.
Yes, and 2 is stupid. And when asked about it, the guy who made it, I forgot his name, but he's like, yeah, I do what I want. I do what I want. And it's like, okay, old man.
Okay, man.
All right, just chill.
Don't tell me what to do. You know who I am.
Yes. He's at that point where he's...
Yeah, everyone knows who you are now, buddy.
Yeah. Anyway, Steven Spielberg, he really needs to, pack it up and just retire right now. But because he came out with the Disclosure Day, which is another alien movie, except apparently I've not seen it. I don't plan to see it because a lot of people who my trust says that it's not good. It's not worth watching.
Yeah, the thing is it's not a bad concept. It's not a bad concept of finding out that your government is having talks with aliens. You didn't know about it. It gets disclosed, that sort of thing. It's the moral direction he decided to go with that we're going to talk about.
A lot of people said that the entire movie is a build-up to the Disclosure Day. Then the Disclosure Day happens and it ends. Yeah. They blue ball you apparently with the ending. Like, and the aliens are only shown once.
They come through the actual alien ship, or is it just their ship coming down from the?
I don't know about the ship, but apparently it's only shown once.
Because the only thing I've heard is the ship coming down from the clouds, and then the movie just kind of ends.
Yeah, and a lot of people said that Steven Spielberg is such a boomer with this movie because they think that finding out that aliens exist, they have to bring it to the press, and that's where people are going to hear it from. Not YouTube.
Buddy, you want to know where most people are going to hear about this from? TikTok.
Yes, and
because what's going to happen is the spaceship's going to come flying in, and within 10 minutes, you're going to see videos all over the place.
Yeah,
you're going to see a bunch of people calling it AI.
Exactly. Yes,
and then you're going to see a bunch of other people being like, "Oh yeah, this is just CGI, AI.
Yeah,
this is fake." Then you're going to have the other people being like, "Finally, I was right."
Yeah.
It's not going to be the news. The news will not have it first.
No. They will have it, but they will not have it first.
No, the news will be a day late, and depending on if the aliens are here for friendliness or to conquer, they may not have it at all.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, but the biggest bit of news that came out, and this is, we're kind of late to the party on this because there's already like bigger, more Christian YouTubers that have came out with, videos on this.
Yeah, we don't.
But we're still going to give our thoughts on it.
Yeah, we're not going to pressure ourselves to make sure we're on every trend as it comes out. So
is that Steven Spielberg himself is on interviews saying that part of the themes of the movie is that it was going to make, quote, Christians question their faith. Question their faith that if aliens exist, what does that mean about Christianity? More specifically, because the existence of aliens does not disprove God at all, the concept of God at all.
No. There's actually another one that people aren't really talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's the other aspect of if the government can be in cahoots with aliens and keep this secret and pull strings this much, how do you know they weren't pulling the strings on your faith as well?
Well, I don't get my faith from the government.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
If you only look at the Bible at a surface level and you think that the Bible is recent and you sit there like that, well, then maybe if you jump through all 15,000 hoops of that, maybe you could come to the conclusion that this would shake your faith.
Yeah.
But if you really look at it, the Bible has been consistent for thousands of years through many governments.
Yeah.
This is not a ploy by our government.
Exactly. So he said, make it question your faith. And like I said, the existence of aliens does not disprove the existence of God. The bigger question is the gospel of Christ is what it brings a question up as, because it is true that all throughout the Bible, it talks about Jesus being the savior of humanity. That the gospel itself is that we as humans are born into a state of original sin. We cannot work our way to God. Our relationship to God is like broken from the time that we're born because of the fall of Adam and Eve. Christ had to live the life that we cannot live ourselves toward God. Perfectly fulfill the law that we cannot fulfill toward God. And then he died a death on the cross for our sins in our place. And then resurrected 3 days later, proving that he is, what we would call the God-man, both fully God and fully human, and that those of us who trust in him as our Lord and Savior, his righteousness that he lived on this planet covers ours. Does not mean that we just do whatever, but we then are called to follow God's law as a didactic moral compass from that salvation, and not living it out as that moral compass will prove, as James says in his letter, that your faith is dead. So it's not salvation by works, it's salvation by faith, but we do good works from that faith.
Yeah.
So that's the gospel. Now, the question is not really sentient life. more what's called sapient life. There's a difference. Sentience means that something is conscious and living. Like, for instance, animals, they are conscience. I can't say words today for some reason. And living. And they can experience pain, they can experience pleasure, all that. Sapience is what we as humans have. The ability to think about our thinking. The ability to think about the why of life and the meaning of life. That is what essentially the Bible means by us being created in the image of God. That we have that kind of higher conscience of being able to, that's what we would call sapience, of being able to think about our thinking and actually have the intellect to be able to, make the stuff that we make. The question is plant life, animal life, microbes on other planets, fine. Like, okay, that would do nothing. The question is would sapient life question one's faith in Christ? Well, what would you say, Joe?
I'd say there's two sides to it, because, well, you equated being able to think as being what made in the image of God is. I don't think that's all of it. I think that was a very rundown, and I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's what he meant by the image of God. I think it's all of it together, not the ability to think about yourself, but also the ability to create new things.
Well, it does talk about the image of God being restored through Christ. That's the thing. Are
we saying that nobody created before them?
Do what?
Are you saying that nobody created before them? Like the cities that were built and all that?
No, it's more of the image of God was not like, because it's the will, the will to be able to do things, like the free will that God gave us to be as not intelligent as Him, but to have the creativity and intelligence of creativity like He does.
Because here's what
we had the ability to choose Him before the fall. But now we do not.
Here's what I'm trying to get at is that there's two sides to the coin. One is either if aliens showed up. This is only if aliens showed up that had sapiens intelligence. One, it's either we have misconstrued what God means by man. He never said human. You said that he talks about humanity a lot. He doesn't. He talks about man a lot. That's what he says. I'm fairly certain it's humanity is what he's saying when he says man. If that was to happen, the only thing that would happen is you would have to question what man is. The other side of the coin is that neither of us have God's image correct. And this is the one that's going to make people mad. That would mean God chose us over them, and we should be proud of that. And being made in God's image has nothing to do with sapience at that point. That's why I question that.
Well, okay, so I think you touched on something that is actually important. Right now, as it stands, because there is no, evidence of sapient life at all. There might be, microbes on scientists think that there might be microbes on other planets. But sapient life, like the thing Heli, is that what they're called in Halo, the elites? Something like that, there's no evidence for. But if something like that was to show up, it would, for me, it would not destroy my faith at all. What it would do is, as you have just touched upon, it would make me rethink and reinterpret what the image of God is. And what He means by man. And what also Christ means when He says that when He returns, He's going to gather everyone from one end of the heavens.
Gather the elect from one end of the heavens to the other.
He doesn't say earth, He says heavens. And so it will make me reinterpret that. That's the big thing. That's the thing that Steven Spielberg seems to not understand, and people who are going around being like, what does it question your faith, seem to not understand. It would not make me question my faith at all. It will make me reinterpret things.
It just makes me reinterpret, like we said, 3 words. Or 3 phrases. Because if on the one hand, if we misinterpreted man, well, then Jesus died for everybody. if we misinterpret what the being in the image of God means,
Yes.
it means Jesus died for us specifically, and he chose us.
Yeah.
And then the third one, elect from all of the heavens. Again,
Yeah.
That one just depends on what the other two were.
Yeah. And not to mention too, so something that you touched upon on he chose us thing. That is a thing in the Bible. That is a concept in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You see, he chooses the Israelites, and then from the Israelites, they were supposed to evangelize the world from him. You had people from the other side of the planet that did not know Yahweh, but they were going to through the Israelites. And it's the same thing with when Christianity started, after Christ ascended. Christianity started in the Middle East, and then it slowly expanded out, and it still expands out. It took, years before. It took years of missionaries going to like Asia, the other side of, Asia and all that.
Yeah.
It took years before any of Christianity came here to America for the Native Americans lived here without ever hearing about Jesus for years. That could also be a concept with sapient life, possibly humans. It could possibly be humans just like us on other planets. So that is a concept. That could be a thing. That other humans are on the other planets. And God, through the narrative of history, might
but here
be having the gospel expanding like that.
Yeah, we have the he's chosen us as well, but also, the other thing Steven Spielberg doesn't seem to understand is, if there were other life, who's to say God didn't do the same thing everywhere else?
Yes.
Because God is God. He doesn't have to only be on Earth.
Yeah. That's the thing that could be as well. So, yeah, all it would do is just make us reinterpret stuff. And like you said, the image of, like for instance, we just had kind of like a bit of a back and forth on the image of God thing. We don't exactly understand entirely what the image of God means. Like for me, I am kind of convinced that it is kind of like our ability that other species on the planet do not have.
Yeah.
And what I meant by it was broken is that it wasn't entirely, we're all made in the image of God. It isn't entirely like taken away. What it is that when Adam and Eve were created, they had the ability to choose God. But they chose sin, and then from that, all of us, our ability to choose God on our own is dead, as the Bible explains. God through the Holy Spirit has to work in us the ability to even choose Him.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I think. You think something a bit more differently.
Yeah, I don't really have a thought on it. The only reason I question that is because of the create and do all of this sort of thing.
Yeah.
We see animals all the time creating things, but it doesn't mean that they're creating from new.
Yeah.
Like, if you see a beaver create a dam, they're programmed to do that biologically.
Yeah.
So, that's the reason I said that, because if we're going to talk aliens, again, that would be the only two things I would ever question is if aliens showed up would be, what does man mean?
Yeah.
And what is the image of God? Because I would never question God's existence, because a created being still needed a creator.
Exactly.
This universe has a beginning. Mm-hmm. It needed a creator.
Yes, it's a cause and effect. We know that the universe is caused. So there needs to be an eternal causer outside of it. So back to the image of God thing. I guess what I mean by the creative stuff is that we have the ability to create out of like joy, and expression, like God does. Animals don't really have that. They create stuff out of pure necessity.
Yeah,
and I guess that's what I meant. So.
Because the other thing I can say about the create thing, because it is definitely something that only we have.
Yes.
Because even AIs cannot create on their own. They can't create something new unless you give them a pointer.
Yeah.
So. But on the other hand of it, like Steven Spielberg also seems to think, just like I said a minute ago, the existence of aliens is enough to break faith.
Yeah, no.
Why?
No.
Why would that break faith?
Yeah.
They're still a created being inside our universe. Unless you could somehow prove that they stepped into the universe from outside of the universe, then they're still a created being.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And YouTuber who is a Christian, Real Life Fake Wizard, he has a very good video on this, and he brings up a very good point on it where he talks about how apparently the nun in the movie, there's a nun in the movie, apparently she ultimately comes to the conclusion where she decides that faith is just something that we tell ourselves to make ourselves feel better. And he brings up a really good point that is the most limp-wristed version of Christianity to go after that you can. Like, there are Christians who die today, right now, who die in other countries for their faith. So here in America, we are so comfortable and so everything's so convenient for us that everywhere you look, a lot of people who claim to be Christian, everywhere you look, had this attitude of like, America, Jesus, and guns. And it's like that is such a weak, as Real Life Fake Wizard says, limp-wristed version of Christianity. That's not like Christianity throughout most of the world.
Exactly.
So how about you actually bring that up instead of bringing up the weakest version of it?
That, and I'm gonna bring it up because a lot of people have been talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see people who aren't Christian talking about it.
Yeah.
But why Christianity? Why not Islam?
Exactly. They're not going to go after Islam.
Why not
Islam?
Why not Buddhism? Why not Judaism? Why not this and that? It's always Christianity.
Yes.
Always.
Yes, exactly. Yep. And Real Life Fake Wizard had a bar at the beginning of his video where he said, well, Spielberg, if you're going to go after a king, don't miss. It's like, yeah, that's pretty hard.
Now, if you're wondering what the perception of this movie is, because we decided to go into the talk, but if you look at it at a surface level and you look at the Christian community, it is a collective shrug.
Yes.
Everyone's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg was hyping it up as the Christianity killer, basically.
Yeah, it's not anywhere near. Like we said, all it would do is just make us reinterpret stuff. That's all it would do.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
It's no different than if all of a sudden we find out that fish people are living at the bottom of the ocean that have some sapience. They're not aliens.
Yeah, Prometheus tried to do this as well. It's a prequel to Alien. A lot of the Alien fans do not consider it canon because what happens in it is that it ends. Spoiler for this stupid movie. Don't watch it. It ends showing that aliens basically created humanity and they created a perfect human who basically was an example for them. Who do you think a perfect human?
Mm-hmm.
But they're basically saying that Jesus was created by aliens. And then
so they're just going down the Scientology route.
Yeah, and then you have the Da Vinci Code. The Da Vinci Code was apparently supposed to be like Jesus was actually just a flawed human kind of thing, and that what we have now is a myth of him, which has been debunked for the past 2,000 years. So, listen, if you're going to critique or try to challenge people of a certain faith or a certain worldview, do your research, extensive research, and present the smartest version of that faith that you possibly can. Do not go after the weakest version of it. I am so sick of seeing this in media. Like,
oh yeah, you said Prometheus. The theory that an alien created humans is the dumbest one yet, and the reason I think that is because look at how people act. You really think that over these millions of years that you think, that these aliens were just sitting idly by and never once tried to make contact?
Yeah, exactly. like the simulation theory. Never came up until we created
Yep.
the internet.
Again, if there was a simulation, do you really think that the sentient beings on the outside of it would never make contact?
Yes. Not to mention if aliens were real, like you understand how much power it takes to get to another galaxy.
Oh no, that's the thing. If aliens were able to get here, I don't know why you keep saying galaxy, because that's insane. Even getting from solar system to solar system.
Yeah, true. Yes.
Getting from galaxy to galaxy is unheard of.
Yeah. Well, I said that because I don't think there's any other solar system that has enough, that has like the perfect, like the conditions that Earth has.
Exactly.
You got to go to another galaxy. So if they get here, we better hope and pray they're benevolent.
Yep.
Because if they're malevolent, we're done. We're screwed.
Yeah, there is no aliens captured under Area 51.
No. If they get here and they've got the technology to get here from another galaxy, they could glass our planet.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to anybody else watched.
Please do not watch
Don't
Halo.
watch Halo.
Please do
Play
not watch the Halo show.
Yes, play the Halo games, except for 4, 5, and 6, the original trilogy. Anyway. But that's our thoughts on that. As Christians, that's our thoughts on this whole Disclosure Day controversy. I also recommend going and watching What Do You Memes and Real Life Fake Wizards videos on them. They're very good videos on those. So, yeah. Anyway, guess we'll move on from there into TV shows. I'll start off with me. I've been watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Really good so far. I really like it. I would say the only flaw that I have with it is that some stuff some things in it kind of are a bit convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll have some characters, the thread of cause and effect would be there. They're looking for another character. And it's all from, this character does this thing, therefore that happens. However, sometimes they'll be walking down an alleyway and look down the alleyway and boom, there's the character. I'm like, okay, that's a bit convenient. But other than that, the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood's excellent.
You see how buff the Pringles guy is?
Pringles guy? I'm about halfway through the series. Who's the Pringles?
You should have seen him way early on.
Is it the
guy
Armstrong guy? Yeah. Well, no, I'm at the point where you meet his sister in the ice place, and she is what I call like girl boss done right. Like she's like a strong woman, but she actually stands on principles and stuff that isn't insufferable. So, but yeah, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood's excellent so far. So, probably definitely going to do a biblical analysis on it when I finish it, because there's a lot to talk about with it. There's a lot of good themes in it. So, yeah. And then other than that, the one that we are going to talk about here in just a second. So, what about you, Chandler? What are you watching? The Amazing Digital Circus?
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, we watched the last couple episodes of the Amazing Digital Circus, the web series from... Okay, so is Gooseworks is the team of writers, right?
Gooseworks is a team of writers, and they had a ton of people doing all the other production.
What, Glitch is the production team?
Yeah.
Okay, Glitch. But it's on Glitch's YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yeah, so... Yeah, we watched the final 2 episodes on it, and we want to talk about... We got thoughts on it from both as a review and analysis point of view, and also as a Christian point of view that we can bring up. We can pull out of it and talk about. Because we've talked about it before. We have an entire episode where we did an entire analysis on just episode 6 alone on the show. So we want to talk about the final 2 episodes. And these final 2 episodes were released in theaters, both kind of like smushed together as like a movie called The Last Act for, I think, a couple of weeks. And it worldwide, just in theaters, it grossed $36 million, which is really good for it. It's a very popular series. It has a massive fan base that loves it. It is Glitch's first real big project. They've got other projects as well. I think one's called Murder Drones and all that. They got one called Gaslight District too, but they're nowhere near as popular as this one. This one is it got huge. Like each episode's got 30+ million views on YouTube. So huge web series, and I respect the heck out of it because it's indie project. Like it's an example of using stuff like YouTube and all that to really bypass Hollywood and come out with indie stuff that's actually like popular and very profitable.
Mm-hmm.
So I respect it a lot, and yeah, we'll give a like review and analysis from both like kind of a secular, meaning we just look at the writing itself, and also a Christian point of view. So to start off with, from the secular point of view of the writing, what did you think about it, Jalen? The last two, or I guess the series as a whole with the last two.
The series as a whole, it's solid. I enjoyed it. There's a few continuity errors that I think of, but
yeah, I would say, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the overall concept, the overall execution of it being like a blend of absurdist comedy, psychological horror, a psychological drama, existential dread, kind of, I guess what you'd call it. It's like a mix of all of that. I do think the last two episodes, the pacing goes nuts.
Yes.
In order to try and end it. There are some things that happen, like Kinger, who is shown to be in the dark multiple times.
Namely, the one that comes to mind is during the gun episode where he hides in that pitch black room for a while.
And he's still dumb Kinger.
But yet, all of a sudden, if he's in the darkness or has a bucket over his head, he can go back to normal.
Yes, exactly. That just kind of seems to come out of nowhere to get used as a plot device to get the plot moving.
Would you consider the sudden realization that they can also alter things be a plot device as well?
I guess it just
came out of nowhere.
There are many things that come out of nowhere.
And then the other continuity error I think of is it clearly pops up with a delete button.
Yes.
And it clearly says that he killed Cain.
Yes.
But he just pairs again and can come right back.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't really fit with like the abstraction versus what happened to Cain. They stick with the consequences of the abstraction, and I'll explain why it seems to be here in a second. But then when they delete Cain is in this floaty delete universe void.
It seems like they realize that when he says that their consciousness or their brains have been in Cain's files, that they couldn't delete him fully because he would. Then at that point, everyone should have just disappeared as well.
Yeah.
So they decided to bring him back, but then they didn't even think about the fact that they said they deleted him, so he just come back.
Yeah, he just comes back. Yet the people who have abstracted are like they are gone, I guess.
Yeah.
They're never shown getting brought back. They just kind of put them in these like tent areas and just kind of leave them there.
Yeah, the only thing we get to is that apparently if you get close enough to them, you can talk to them again, but it's very dangerous too.
Yeah, you go inside their consciousness, basically. So you have that. There are also just some things that are not really much explained because it kind of, again, the pacing goes crazy. The pace, full spoilers for the Amazing Digital Circus, by the way. Forgot to say that. And also, just when we talk about this, it looks like a kid's show. It is rated TV PG, but it's not really a kid's show. It's not a kid's show.
TV PG? How many curse words are allowed in that? Because I heard GD multiple times.
Yeah, there's that multiple, and there's also, well, I mean, most of it comes from Zubul, but hers is like censored.
GD was straight up nuts.
No, it was.
Cain straight up says it.
Cain straight up says that. But yeah, it's not for kids. Especially the last two episodes touches on complex issues that would either traumatize or kids ain't gonna figure it out at all.
That reminded me, the other another example of it going too fast is Jax's abstraction happened so fast that I didn't realize that was Jax for a while.
Yes.
Because it just suddenly cuts. It starts with him looking like he's going to ask Palmy for help. Mm-hmm. Then he just walks away. It then just cuts to
him being abstracted.
I thought they were looking at Kinger's wife.
I had no idea who. I thought it was like one of the other ones. And then she's is going after Jackson. Like, oh, that's Jack. Oh, that's
it's only at first when she grabs him, I thought I thought it was odd that it kept showing Jax in these memories, and then finally it hit me. This is Jax.
Yeah. The thing that Jax was so terrified of happening to him happens to him, and it happens to him in 0.2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, the pacing is kind of like off. There are some plot holes. Well, the pacing isn't really off. It's just fast.
It's fast.
There are some plot holes. Now, for the most part, the characters are consistent.
Yeah.
For the most part, except for Kinger.
Kinger is the only one who's inconsistent because of that sudden superpower he gained, being able to go back to normal in the dark.
Yes. But other than that, everything else is consistent. Everybody else is consistent.
Yeah. Kane going completely nuts is consistent to his character.
Yes, it is. It happens fast.
It happens very fast, but it is definitely something Kane was being built up to do.
Yes. Yeah.
He would eventually snap and be angry.
Yeah, because... so, that's all right. But other than that, it's solid. So from a writing standpoint... It's solid, and if you want to see a very interestingly put together web series, then I would recommend it. Not to children, of course.
Yeah.
And from a pure writing standpoint, that's why.
Yeah.
Now to go into the Christian analysis part. So I'll just start.
Yeah. The overall theme of this is the meta commentary on AI.
Yes.
Like, there is a part in it that may upset Christians because Cain just screams, "I am God."
Yeah.
That has nothing to do, in my view of it, had nothing to do with God. Yeah. It had to do with a meta commentary on what some people nowadays are thinking AI is, as this all-powerful system, which it's really not. That's what this was going for, especially in these last two episodes, which I saw this coming from a mile away.
Yes, yeah.
And then there's the whole downloaded consciousness thing. We find out that and I again called this really early on.
Yeah.
Which is why none of it really surprised me when it happened.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it bad.
No.
I'm talking to you, Game of Thrones. You didn't have to subvert expectations.
No, you did not.
But anyway, we're not getting into that.
We're not talking about the season of television that shall not
be named.
Season of television that desecrates the graves of the innocent.
But we do end up finding out that they're not actually trapped there because they're not actually the person. The person just put on the headset, got their brain scan, never thought anything of it, went on with their lives.
Yeah.
This is basically a copy of them.
Yes.
Now, before we get into the full analysis, there was one more part of the secular analysis I wanted to bring up.
Okay, yeah.
And that's none of them decided to wrestle with the fact that they weren't real. They all just seemed to accept it.
They all just accepted it, and none of them wrestled with it. This series definitely needed more time.
Now you can say that Ragatha wrestled with it. Not really. All she said was, "I think I've known this whole time."
Yeah.
And just didn't want to believe it.
Yep.
Then after Cain actually shows them, which warning just for anyone who's a Christian and don't want to see anything on the trans thing. Zubul is apparently trans.
Or Zubul's a they them.
Yeah.
But
he shows all of them who they are and where they are now versus who their actual people are.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're all just like, okay. Yeah. And then he's like, and he goes to call Palmy by her actual name, and Palmy says, "Well, she's out there, so I want to be Palmy."
Yes. And it makes for a happy ending.
Yeah.
It's just, again, this series needed to be like 12 episodes as opposed to 9. So that's what I think.
But back to the biblical analysis. This is more of my territory because I am a programmer and I have worked with AI.
Yeah.
One, I'll just come out and say it. It caused me to disconnect because I am a programmer.
Yeah.
Do not take this as a fault on the show because the show itself is supposed to be a fiction story.
Yeah.
But the fact that Cain was able to have all of these emotions and the downloaded consciousness people were have all of these emotions just kind of, I just sat there like, yeah, that's not possible.
Yeah.
Because it's AI.
Yeah.
But from a Christian standpoint, we do have an unfortunate amount of people out there that look to AI and think it's God himself, basically.
Yeah.
We have, especially back when people were asking Grok, whatever it was.
At Grok, is this true?
Yeah, is this true? And then they would ask Christian questions to it and stuff like that.
Yeah, they would, even Christians themselves, they would ask stuff like, in theology, like, is credo baptism or pedo baptism in the Bible? And they'll go off whatever the AI said.
Yeah.
For anybody I don't know, credo baptism is basically believer's baptism, and then pedo is infant baptism.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I don't know. I can't say for certain they're not Christian or not.
Yeah.
I can't say for certain they're not religious.
Yes.
The writers of the show.
Yeah.
But I can say for certain that they have a valid point when they're saying when they're bringing up that meta commentary about AIs not actually listening to people. Now there is a scene that you had me read over that at first glance may sound like it's against God, but at a further glance it's not.
Yes. Yeah.
Clearly against Cain. It's where they're trying to distract him. He suddenly realizes, where is Kinger?
Yes. Which, that's another flaw from a secular standpoint. If he's all-powerful in that world, how did he not realize what Kinger was doing?
Yeah, because he would just appear and grab Palmy out of nowhere and stuff like that. Like
exactly.
How did he not know where Kinger was?
I found the scene funny when they're sitting
at the table. She's like, just let me indulge a little bit. Palmy disappears, pops back with a bunch of knives in her.
Yes.
But yeah, there's that scene. They're trying to distract him. He starts to figure it out, and then she plays on his ego and says that we're here to just laugh at how stupid your creations are.
Yeah.
Or your ideas, not creations.
Yeah.
Ideas.
Yeah.
And it does sound, at a first glance, if you're reading into it too hard.
If you're reading it, that's the thing about, especially as Christians, we have to be careful what we read into things.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot just do knee-jerk reactions to stuff and just be like, oh, this is obviously against Christianity. This is obviously against, like, God. It's obviously, them doing a slight towards God, or them trying to propose a viewpoint that God is bad and that, to kids or whatever, even though this is not for kids. The creators have straight up said it's not for kids. It's an adult animation. Stuff like that. We have to be careful being knee-jerk reaction like that.
Yeah.
We need actual ample evidence of that. The reason why I brought up the Steven Spielberg thing is because Steven Spielberg straight up said this in multiple interviews. So,
and then because to me it seemed more like it was directed at Cain.
At Cain specifically.
I'm not saying this is what it is, but this is what I pulled from it. It does seem like a sort of meta commentary on how AIs don't exactly think about who they're talking to.
Yeah.
Because they can be very blunt and have no emotion or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's what that could be.
Yeah.
To me, it was just a scene of them trying to distract Cain.
Yes.
Before Kinger deleted him.
Yeah. And everything they said about him was true. He did not know what it was like to walk in their shoes. He did not, care what they thought. He did not allow them to do anything, themselves and all that. So, a lot of it, that scene specifically looks like it was directed straight at Cain. But at a surface level, there are some things that's like, especially with other pieces of media straight up having subtext against Christianity, it can definitely seem that way.
But basically, in conclusion of the AI Christianity portion, especially as a Christian, but also as anyone secular needs to stop looking to AI as this all-powerful being.
Yes.
And especially Christians need to stop looking to it to be their pastor.
Yes, exactly.
They need to be plugged into a church.
And do research yourself.
Yeah.
Because you cannot... AI is only going to regurgitate what we have written down.
Yeah, if you are to ask AI a question and you don't look at the sources, there is a good chance it could pull from Bethel. It could pull from it could pull from Islamic texts and say, well, this is what this says, but they don't mention that, so you didn't know that wasn't actually in the Bible.
Yeah, like AI is never going to have the ability to look outside of us and come up with an answer outside of us. It's going to regurgitate things that we've already written down.
Yeah.
So yet AI can be used as a tool for research, but you should ultimately come to the conclusions yourself through extensive research on stuff, not just ask the AI and then go by whatever the AI says. This is a very dangerous thing for us, both Christian and non-Christian, just humans in general, to do.
Yeah.
Because if we think the average intelligence has gone down because of the internet right now, it will accelerate with AI. Do the research yourself, people. One thing that I want to talk about, too, that I noticed from it is the idea, the abstraction thing. Saying, especially the last episode, to me, the abstraction definitely seems like a metaphor for self-deletion.
Yeah.
I can't say the other word because YouTube's ran by a bunch of cowards. It definitely seems like a metaphor for self-deletion because you have, especially the information that is shown with, what was her name, Ribbit?
Yeah, Ribbit.
And the clown dude.
I don't remember the clown dude's name, but Ribbit and Jax's relationship.
Yeah. That you see all these people that I've abstracted, they were kind of pushed away. They had problems. They tried to get vulnerable with somebody. That person kind of betrayed them, and they got pushed away. And then from there, they got kind of left to them through their own, and they abstracted. And now they're never able to be retracted, I guess.
Yeah.
Again, and you're left with like the people wondering what they could have done differently if they could go back and they could stop them from doing that. And the same thing happens with Jax.
Yeah.
And Pomni goes inside of like Jax's consciousness and is able to see the backstory of him and how tragic his backstory is, and why he acted the way that he acted, why he put on the mask, not metaphorically speaking.
Yeah.
The way that he acted in it is not who he actually is. So,
as you could tell, you could tell his reactions based on the shape of his eyes. Because especially his square eyes, he was thinking, if his eyes became those lines, he was putting the mask back on.
Exactly. I love that like visual storytelling.
Yeah.
That's why I love animation the most. Like, it's my favorite form of medium of storytelling because you could do a lot of stuff with that.
Yeah.
And you also just have the whole concept of Pomni realizing this stuff about like the abstraction, what happens to the abstracted, and she tries her best to get to Jax. Jax goes off. Again, this is where the pacing is just wild with this part. Jax goes off by himself and abstracts. And then Pomni goes into his consciousness and runs up to him. She can't bring him back.
No,
but she does run up to him and hug him and show that she did care about him. And she did care about him, what he was going through and all that.
Yeah, I'd say the only part of that show that made me feel like a certain way was when Jax says, "I don't want to go."
Yeah. That scene was kind of rough.
Yeah.
The emotional parts of, like, especially the final episode I will say the animators did a fantastic job on facial animations, and so did the voice actors with the emotions. Fantastic job. But yeah, so from a Christian perspective, I definitely, processing that from my Christian perspective, I definitely see that as like a metaphor for self-deletion.
Yeah.
And the whole...
It also... Yeah. It's a metaphor for self-deletion. It's also a metaphor for shutting yourself in with depression.
Yes. And when we struggle with... A lot of the times when we struggle with things, it makes it hard for us to open up and be vulnerable with people that we are struggling with those sort of things. And then we can also, through just defense mechanisms that we come up with, push other people away. And that can cause... that when somebody actually... unfortunately takes their own life from that, the guilt from that and the what could have been from that you start thinking of is like one of the worst things ever. And what I think we as Christians can get out of that, especially because I think it's executed regardless of how inconsistent some of the other things happen with it. Like, I brought up the abstraction, but Cain was able to come back. I think it's executed in a way that one can take a lot out of it. And the thing that I think that we could really get out of it is to be open with the people that we trust, be open with the people that we love, and be there for them. Show them that you care about them. Show them that you care about their struggles. Show them that you don't want them to just go off and shut themselves off from the world and only suffer what they're suffering by themselves. And show them that you care that they continue living, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And show them to not make a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah.
And not only that, but especially as Christians, that Christ loved them enough to die for them, to die for their sins. That they are struggling with what they are struggling with because they are a sinful human being amongst other sinful human beings. Who, yes, that we hurt one another, we make a mess out of the world, and that can cause us to get depressed. And God could have just let us suffer completely and no salvation, and went off and created some other universe, but he didn't. He decided to come in as the God-man, Jesus, and live the life we could not live, died the death we should have died in our place, and that God does love them as well because of that.
No, because he brought this up, I do want to say to those of you who have lost somebody to self-deletion, at least I don't, here at Restored Geeks, do not believe that self-deletion is the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit.
No, blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is when you just straight up deny the gospel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some people may argue, it's like, well, when you take your own life, ain't you like denying that? It's like, in that moment, maybe, but if the person genuinely believed, but just made a really stupid decision in that moment, I don't think so.
If somebody truly, if you think that, then sit down and think to yourself how many times you have gone through a dark period.
Yeah.
Where your faith feels like it's nothing, yet you still believed.
Yes.
Because that person could still believe, but went through a dark enough period that they made a rash decision.
Yeah. And anybody struggling with that, please open up to other people. Please don't suffer alone. Yeah, you are loved, especially by God.
Yeah.
God loved you enough to die for your sins and for the sins of the world, as the Gospel of John says. So, please do not choose a permanent solution for a temporary problem.
Yeah.
Even if things do not get better, for those of us, especially in Christ, and for those who accept Christ as their Lord and Savior, it will eventually be better in heaven.
Yeah.
So, that's the hope that we look for, and that's the hope that we want to spread on this. This is the entire reason why we even started doing this in the first place. So, yeah, that's what I get from that. That's if there's one huge thing that we can get from, that people can get, especially Christians can get from watching, if they choose to watch the Amazing Digital Circus, it's that. So, yeah. So yeah, that's our review and analysis from both like a secular, like writing standpoint, and also a Christian perspective as well on the Amazing Digital Circus. So yeah, I mean, I think Gooseworks and Glitch are both talented on it. So yeah, interested to see what they do next. I know the creator.
She said that.
Yeah.
Is it a she? I don't know. I just keep saying that.
Yeah.
They keep saying. They said that they're not going to make another one because. And I don't blame them. It got too popular.
Yeah, they didn't like the spotlight. So, which I don't blame them. If you're somebody, especially that's very introverted, and you came out with something that you just wanted to make for anybody who would just watch it, and it explodes enough to get put in theaters, yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the creators of Smiling Friends basically had that same opinion too. So I hope they eventually come back and do some stuff. So,
but they're still doing stuff because the guy who voices Charlie voiced a fish in Digital Circus.
Yeah. Yep. So, that is just the voice actor though. Yeah.
I love how that episode's called the beach episode, but the beach episode,
The beach is
10 minutes,
yeah,
and then the last 20 is the trick that Kane was playing on him.
Yes. Yep. And we didn't get to see Ming another time. Well, where's my boy Ming at?
Gone.
Nobody assumed anything.
He should have popped up at the very end and then go to say something, then just vanish.
No, that's the disappearing man.
I know.
Yeah.
We should have had
Yes, we should have had disappearing man too. Yes.
He should have walked up at that part where Zubul has the bar opening.
Yes.
He should have just walked up and went,
yes.
gone.
Well, it disappeared as soon as Pomni does too. Yes.
Dude, Kane went sadistic in that episode.
Pomni just disappears and then she shows back up with knives.
Shows back up with knives. They're like, "Are you okay?" "I'm fine." He just starts eating.
Yep. But yeah, those are our thoughts on it. So.
Oh,
yep.
Kinger, I need you for something. Come with me. Kinger reappears. He shredded me.
Yep. Yep. And that's all we got for this episode. So, yeah. What do y'all think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. If y'all liked the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you really like what we do and want to support us out more, hit that subscribe button. It'll help us out greatly. Thank y'all for listening or watching. We love y'all. God bless y'all, and we'll see you all next time.
Peace.